everyone. Just doing a real quick shoot for you on the war that's coming up. As you can see, we have Bloody Battle. Bloody Battle is fairly easy. We have them all the time in tournaments as well, but it's no healing and no resurrection. So no boosts, nothing. You can't regain health at all, no matter what you have going on. So that's the important takeaway from it. So when doing this, then when setting up your roster, sorry, I got all these stupid ads as everybody knows about. Um, think of it in terms of health, defense, and speed. Those are the three that you're probably going to want to try to get in there. Again, if you have a good defense, like I've said before, and it's holding up, then keep it in there. I'm not saying don't use healers. If you have a healer, somebody like Freyware, I'll just pull her up here real quick. She's actually pretty darn good when it comes to uh, doing ailments. So someone like this who is a healer, but she also dispels status effects and buffs from the enemy. So she's going to take that stuff away from the enemy that trying to stay longer. That next one won't help. So, but she does that source of ailments. So the following effects are cast on a random enemy at the start of each turn, and it just keeps happening. It doesn't go away. So one of those, either a negative 80 mana or both. So I've seen both on it and everything else, and it will activate 4 times. So each attempt to dispel it removes the one activation. So I mean, if it is tried, if they have somebody that dispels buffs on their side, it will reduce that. It won't do it all 4 in a row, but until they do something, it's just going to keep going. And you can see her mana is average, which is not too bad. So if you put a good mana boosting hero set of troops on her, like a magic mage, those will be good, or wizards, excuse me, those will be good to use. So I'm not saying that healers aren't good to use, but like I have Sable as a staple stock on my defense, not usable. She doesn't do anything really outside of resurrect, so not going to be somebody that's going to stay on the defense like normal. Hetra Fairy's another healer that a lot of you have. You can see right off the bat, it's not going to be the greatest thing in the world for her, because her first skill is not of any use. But allies get an 84 against nature. But if you have her on there in a bloody battle war and people know, they shouldn't take greening against her. So it's just not really going to be a helpful person to put in there. So anyway, that's something to think about. She probably doesn't have her spot in the war, and the same thing. Her costume doesn't really change anything either. So let's see. Ignacio is another one that most of his benefits come from the health boosting side, but does 55% attack. So if that's what you need, then it's not a bad one to have, and it cleanses status elements from all allies. So between Freyway and Ignacio, you can have everything being cleansed at all times. But again, Ignacio won't be out there on me for defense, just because most of its powers are coming from elsewhere. So then we come down to what's truly important right now. So there's 3 things, which I said at the beginning of it, is the health, the overall health, the overall defense, and then the speed of which the hero goes off. So if they can go off faster and more times than the other team, obviously you'll kill them first, right? So that's kind of the way to look at this and think about it. So I would say if you've got some studs that are very fast, somebody that pops to my mind real quick is this guy right here, Mr. Deadboot. He doesn't really hit too hard. 375 isn't that great, but does wither. So negative 300 defense. So if you can get him to go off a couple of times and then have a big hitter go behind him, oh my gosh, it's gonna trash him out. Now his problem though is right here what we were talking about first. His defense, which is the middle stat there, the 1194, that's right on the shield, that's his defense. So he's very susceptible to tiles. Blow right through him with four, not even with really strong heroes. 4 or 5 tiles will go right through him. Now, if you get a team that's got good tiles, like all 5 stars, probably blow through him with just three tiles. So he doesn't have the staying power to be able to help out. And then of course his health at 2170, not very good either. There are rumors that the Goblin family will be getting costumes. When that happens, he might find his way back into the defense. He's still on offense because you can hide him and use him where you need to. So he's still really, really good there. But defensively, he's still not. He's kind of on the edge, looking out there like, hey, I want to play. Okay, anyway. But you'll see here in just a second. I'll go pull some bigger numbers up. So then you can go on to somebody else and look at them and their numbers and about maybe why they're a better choice. So somebody like Duvall. Duvall is fast. 1678, so that's 500 better, and 2971. So his HP, his health is a little bit better. And he's somebody that you could use and you could hide him. Kind of like stick him off to the side or whatever. He's not a bad choice to put on your defense. I know Sarah uses him. Not Sarah. Sorry. She uses Lane. Somebody uses him. Anyway. All right. And then we go down here. We can look at Usted Anad. He's average, so he's not that fast, but look at his numbers. Now you can start to see where it's really going to come into play. So 1729, so that's even better yet. And then we're over 3,000 now with health. And he starts off with counterback. Huge. So if you can find a spot for him to go in there, use him. Good to go. Now, I and Rome and anybody else probably that has Zaza, use Zaza. Zaza doesn't do too bad. Decent health, decent defense. But she has a dodge, and she hits really hard for a fast, 620%. Now, the only thing that won't happen is that little 26% health that comes from whatever damage she does. But her other things that she has going for her help her out a lot. So, and she does have a little dodge built in that she could use every once in a while. So again, Zaza's not a bad one to have on there. The cats, they're gonna probably be a little less useful because they won't revive. Most of them don't carry huge numbers. This one does. Virnix does, and she's fast, so she could be a good one to be used in there as well. I probably won't. I'll probably stick with Gluzmer maybe on my ice side because 1900 is huge defense, and he takes away mega minions and some other stuff. So again, other things that come along with it. Let's see. In the red department, pretty much you're just looking for big stats and fast. So yes, Bahima hits hard, does some nasty things, but 1578 isn't very good on the defense side. Health's okay, so he'll take a little bit to kill him, but most of that's just going to go right through his defense and get into his health. So costume Rain is probably where I'll end up going because you can see that health stat, 3225 and an 1808 and fast. So Rain will definitely be making her way to the defense for sure. Okay, so I hope that kind of helps you. Now, if you don't know which one of your heroes are fast or very fast, Zynga did put in here a opportunity for you to change your filter. So you hit the filter button, and then you can go down to mana speed. See it right there? And you can change it to very fast, and you can see who your options are. I always take off probably twice my team when I'm doing that. And then now these are all your fast, very fasts only. And you can kind of see who maybe you'd like to put or who you could put in there to create the strongest possible team. And if you want to get really crazy, you just want to see just your very fast, you can do that. And then those are your very fast heroes. And you can, and again, try to create something from that. Problem with most very fast is they're not very strong health wise to be able to stay in there. That little Nibbles is a healer, so it doesn't help me. Damon's not a bad one, and by the way, he's coming in the Fated Summons, and is definitely very, very valid in the game still. But dispels buffs from the target, blocks talent skill activation from the target for 3 turns. So in other words, they can't go off against you, and deals 485 damage to the target, which is really good for very fast. You can see what his problem is. He's not very punchable. He can't take a hit. 1299 is not very good with a 2404. So you really have to hide him and have strong enough blues to go around him to keep him from getting beaten up. And as you can see, very fast. That's a hard task. Let's see, even if I added fast in there, and then even changed it to ice because we're trying to protect fire. Let's see what happens. Chitragon is a healer only. So Vernix could potentially help you out a little bit. Or Magni and Glusmer. Those guys could. Orc as a healer. Orker. And so is Sable as the revive. So it thins out quick. Like Poppet I love, but 1387 won't take hits. Anyway, I hope that helps you kind of think about what you should be looking at when you're doing this. And things that could help you put the best defense forward. As always, I will be available today and tomorrow if you guys want to talk and go over anything. If not, happy hunting and good luck in the war.